Coming up, people in East Ukraine are ordered to vote on whether they should become part of Russia. But is it what they really want?
And imagine being on the same court as your tennis idol. We meet the ball kids who did.
So I've got Novak Djokovic playing behind me. I've never seen him in live, so it's definitely something really exciting.
Hi! We've got loads of info for you this week.
And we've got a guest.
It's only Joseph Coilo, the new Children's Laureate. Hello.
Hiya.
We'll explain later.
First, Braden, I've got a story for you. But is it true? We're all worried about climate change, but one person has come up with an idea to patch the problem up. Here's a plan to refreeze both the North and South poles by stratospheric aerosol injection.
Come again?
They would release sulfur dioxide, the same stuff that comes out of volcanoes. It would give shade from the sun and cool down the melting ice caps to keep the polar bears and the penguins chill. What do you think? Is this fake news or fact?
For many Ukrainians around the world, the last few days have been a worrying time. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, who ordered the invasion of Ukraine 6 months ago, ordered votes to take place in parts of Ukraine that Russian troops are occupying, asking people if they want their town or village to remain in Ukraine or become part of Russia. A vote like this is called a referendum. There were reports that Russian soldiers were going to people's houses and watching them make their choice, so they might not have voted how they wanted to.
That's so scary. Most world leaders are saying that the vote is illegal and that the results shouldn't be trusted.
Zarina and her big sister Vika came to England because their city in Ukraine was bombed.
Именно спасение людей на всех территориях, где этот референдум проводится.
It makes me really angry when I watching videos like that.
Является центром внимания.
All of these events which are taking place here, the majority of them are fake. They're just faking all of this.
I have friends from people who I know from this territory, Donbass, Mariupol, Lugansk, Donetsk, and nobody wants to be Russian.
We're very, very sad because it will be very difficult to get back these territories after this.
As far as President Putin is concerned, a massive 15% of Ukraine will become part of Russia. And by saying these areas are a part of Russia instead of Ukraine, President Putin is warning that no other country should try and take them back, as it would be considered as an attack on Russia.
Did you see that President Putin has given orders to 300,000 men to join the Russian army to also fight in Ukraine? Many don't want to, and there have been queues at the border as people try and leave.
It's invasion into a free country. And after that, I don't think they have a right to do referendum, elections or something.
People under pressure cannot decide fairly.
Hey Braden, did you know that there were over 39 theatres in London?
I mean, they certainly love plays and musicals then, don't they?
Yeah. And while many of us love being in musicals, shows at schools, or local drama groups, we wondered what it was like to actually be in a big professional production.
So we sent an FYI News Club member backstage.
Hi, I'm Joy and I love to sing, so I'm very excited that FYI has invited me here today to go behind the scenes of Frozen the musical. The musical is based on the movie about two sisters.
Hi, I'm Casey and I play young Elsa.
And I'm Elisa and I play young Anna.
Come on inside, we'll show you around.
Come on. Wow.
This is where we get everything ready before the show starts. So we have all of our dresses over here. This is the fixer-up costume. This is my personal favourite.
Yeah. I'm really excited and amazed to be here because normally only VIPs get to come here.
This is Wardrobe Village.
Wow.
So this is where all of the girls get changed.
And over there.
So over here, these are the ensemble wigs.
Yeah, this is for the summer festival.
This is the Queen's wig.
And down here, these are the Hugo wigs. How does it feel to be young Elsa and young Anna? It's like a dream come true, really.
Yeah, because I remember when I was younger, I really wanted to be a Disney princess, and a couple of years later, my dream has completely come true. It's an amazing experience to be here.
What advice would you give other young people like yourselves if they wanted to get into performing like you?
If you're really into it, then like join a club or like a school drama club.
I just say be resilient, work hard. You will get no's, but you will get those few yeses, and if you do get a no, it's not because you're not talented. It just means that maybe you didn't fit the role that they were looking for.
If you're like nervous on stage, how do you beat your feelings?
Before the show, I would take a deep breath in and out, and once I've said some of my lines and sang some of the songs, then I feel fine.
Yeah, exactly the same. I don't feel as nervous as I did on my first couple of shows.
Thanks, Joy. If you'd like to be an FYI News Club reporter, then get a teacher to set up an FYI News Club at your school.
Who knows, you might get exclusive access to something too.
Just head to our webpage for more info. first.news/FYI.
Still to come, what's it like to give Roger Federer his last tennis ball ever?
Everybody say Swiss cheese!
But first, we've got the Children's Laureate in the studio. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to FYI.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you for your time. So first of all, a massive congratulations. But can you please tell us what is the Children's Laureate?
Well, the Children's Laureate is a 2-year role. I'm following on from Cressida Cow and other brilliant writers and illustrators like Mallory Blackman and Jacqueline Wilson. And basically, the role of the Laureate is to promote books and reading and how much fun reading for pleasure can be.
And lots of people might have seen your poetry book overheard in a tower block.
Yeah, I've got a new book coming out, which is a verse novel called The Boy Lost in the Maze, which follows on from an earlier novel I did called The Girl Who Became a Tree. So it's kind of similar in tone.
So what's it about?
The Boy Lost in the Maze is about a modern-day Londoner called Theo who is searching for his biological father. But as he searches, the story becomes intermingled with this Greek myth.
Yeah.
And as the reader reads the story, they can choose their own path.
It does sound so cool. But back to the Laureate job. What exactly do you have to do?
Well, each laureate makes the role their own. So being a poet, I'm going to focus on poetry and getting the whole nation writing poems.
I mean, it's a tough challenge, that really, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be difficult. I mean, it's not for everyone, is it?
Yeah, you're quite right. A lot of people get turned off by poetry and think it's really difficult or not for them. So I'll be releasing a video which will show a really fun, creative way of getting involved with poetry without it being too threatening. The first video that's going live on National Poetry Day is all about the environment and looking out your window, listening to the trees creaking and the sounds of the environment to get you started writing a poem.
And there's so many different types of poems as well.
Yeah, like you've got Shakespeare did loads of sonnets and then there's funny limericks. I even consider like riddles and joke telling and songs and lyrics as all coming under the umbrella of poetry.
Right, so there's one thing that we have to mention, it's unmissable, it's the centre of attention, the medal. Come on, tell us about it.
This is my medal.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
So I got this medal on the 4th of July. Every laureate gets a medal. It's silver.
So
and
cool.
I'm making the most of wearing it whilst I can.
I wouldn't have it on all the time.
Wear it to the shops anyway.
So I was wondering if maybe you could tell us one of your poems later on?
Oh, I'd love to.
Amazing.
That'd be amazing.
Try and stop me.
There have been a lot of tennis retirements recently. Serena Williams and last weekend Roger Federer. Imagine giving him his last ball.
Well, that was these lucky ball kids' jobs. "146 miles an hour. That's the speed of an average professional player's serve. Would you be brave enough?
I'm Shakira and I'm a ball kid.
Last weekend, Shakira, Daisy, Ollie and Tim were watched by thousands of people as they took on the job of a lifetime at one of London's biggest ever tennis events.
The Labour Cup is a big tournament which has the top players in Europe against the top players in the rest of the world, and they go head-to-head every year in a different venue.
The Labour Cup is different to all other tournaments because it's players coming together who normally play against each other.
It's amazing to be here as a ball kid because you get to see the best of the tennis as well as the coaching and the face-to-face contact with the players.
I've got Novak Djokovic playing behind me.
Right now we've got Diego and we've got Felix Auger-Aliassime training, so it's quite crazy to be able to be this close to them. For me, it's like a dream come true.
Earlier we spoke to Novak Djokovic and we asked him a few questions about his favourite tournament, which he said it was Wimbledon.
It was amazing because he was so friendly and really nice.
It's just really good to have the privilege to be able to come here and share the court with the great players.
Anyone was able to apply to become a ball kid, and after competing against 450 hopefuls, Shakira was one of the lucky 24.
Being a ball kid means that we have to be on court with the players and we have to clean up the balls as quickly as possible.
And the other thing is just being like really concentrated on what the players want, because you need to know when they want the balls or not. I'm really nervous, but all the practice today has really helped to make me feel a lot more calm about it.
Well, obviously we did some rolling, because that's like the main aspect of being a ball kid, so make sure the rolls are like nice and flat, not bouncing around, and also working together in a team, because that's a key aspect of working on the court so that there's no mistakes.
And luckily, there were no mistakes for the final match. The highlight of the weekend when Federer officially retired from professional tennis.
Ronnie, I would do it all over again.
He's my favourite player, so I'll definitely be quite upset to see him leave.
But luckily for Tim and all the other ball kids, they were there for the last match. And because he's from Switzerland, guess what he got them to say?
Everybody says Swiss cheese!
Earlier I told you about an idea to cool down the North and South Pole to reverse the effects of climate change. But was it fake news or fact? It's fact. Even though it would take hundreds of thousands of flights, releasing even more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, some scientists agree this crazy idea might stop sea levels rising. But it is just an idea. It's fake news to report it's actually going to happen, so be careful how you pass on the story. Now, October marks Black History Month, a month where schools make the special effort of telling the stories of Black lives who otherwise may be forgotten.
We want to know who you're remembering, so please get in touch with us through our webpage. So Joseph, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Well, it means a great deal because it's also about representation and finding out those forgotten histories. When I was at school, I never saw or heard about a black writer or any writers that looked a bit like me until sixth form, when a poet called Jean Binta Breeze from the Caribbean came to my school. She sat on our school stage, and that was the first time I realised I could be a poet. That could be my job.
Well, we wanted to highlight someone you've written a poem about, Rosa Parks. In 1955, she made history in America and around the world for taking action against racism.
Back then in the southern states of America, there was something called segregation laws, which forced black people to keep away from white people. There were separate areas in restaurants, schools, and cinemas.
It was the same on buses. When the white section was full, black people were expected to move out of their seats.
But on the 1st of December 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. A civil rights activist, she wasn't just saying no to giving up her seat, she was saying no to racism. But because of the law, Rosa was arrested and lost her job.
The black people of Rosa's town were tired of being treated differently because of the colour of their skin and stopped using the buses for over a year.
The Montgomery bus boycott made people wake up to racism, and that's why Rosa Parks is still so important to Black History Month.
Absolutely. I was surprised to discover that there were many people before Rosa Parks who had remained seated on a bus in protest, including Claudette Colvin, who was only 15 years old.
Wow.
So I wanted to write a poem that highlighted all of those people, including some of the young people that helped make that change happen. So I really hope you guys enjoy the poem.
Thanks, Joseph. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, that's it for this week, but we'll leave you with Joseph's poem.
Bye!
Not the first to sit, not the first to get arrested, not old, she was 42, not tired, just tired of giving in. One of many unable to sit with the injustice of years. A rider on an old road walked by millions on tired legs. These riders fought a feat, years in the trudging of soul-worn protest. Walked in frustrated miles over landscapes of lives. One day became 13 months of continued mapping, of hitchhiking and carpools, of walking and tattered shoes because the bus wasn't going anywhere they planned to go.